Hi and welcome to my channel. This is Danielle's Denture Diaries. I am Danielle. I am 27 years old. On September 20th of 2021, I had a full mouth extraction and immediate dentures put in. I do apologize. I am very swollen, particularly on this side, because I actually ended up having an additional tooth discovered that hadn't ruptured from underneath my gums that had to be removed, which is why I've been a little bit absent from my channel here recently. I can't believe I'm over 50 subscribers right now. So when I get to 100 subscribers, I am going to be over the moon. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody who is subscribing right now here at the very beginning. I apologize for any glitchiness or disruptions during my learning process, and thank you so much for your patience and for tuning in. Now, without further ado, we are going to be talking today about dentures and the mental and emotional journey that comes with it. Alright guys, so when it comes to having a full mouth extraction or any significant extractions beyond the norm, and by norm I mean having a wisdom tooth pulled here, a tooth not growing in properly there, that kind of a thing is typically pretty normal for an adult. Even children sometimes will have to get a tooth pulled. But anything beyond that, and then having to replace that smile that you once knew and you were familiar with, it can be a lot. And it can be very traumatic as well. Not for everybody. I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone's journey, but I will say that for mine, it was definitely more of a mental and emotional journey than it was physical. So for anyone that hasn't watched my previous videos, a quick summary is that since I was 8 or 9 years old, I've been going through processes of reconstructional surgery, which means that I was very used to my mouth being basically taken apart and put back together again to look very different than when I had walked into the dentist office due to my being born with no enamel. So that's why for me the physical changes didn't seem quite as heavy, or at least the physical things that were happening, the actions, that wasn't as heavy to me as was the mental journey with it. So first and foremost, people are worried that they're going to be judged for getting dentures. And first of all, adult to adult, or, you know, who cares what other people think? And I know that's a lot easier said than done. I know that's something that we all say from time to time again, and this is no different. But when I say that this time, I want you to understand and think about and keep in mind, what is a denture? Type a comment below if you want to call it something else, but a denture is a prosthesis. It's a prosthetic. If someone you saw walking in the grocery store or anywhere had a prosthetic leg, a prosthetic hand, do you feel like they are judged? Probably by you-know-what, but only a you-know-what would judge someone for that situation. And who cares what they think? You have a prosthetic. You have a prosthetic for numerous reasons, maybe all of the reasons. It could be the fact that your teeth didn't look the way you wanted to be socially acceptable, which I believe I touched on a little bit in my earlier videos. Or maybe they were causing you pain. Maybe they were simply falling apart. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. You sat in a chair once upon a time and said enough is enough, And a dentist agreed. Hopefully it was a dentist who loves their practice and knows that the core value for them is to protect and preserve teeth. But knowing that your situation called for an extreme process like this, hopefully it all aligned, and you need to rest assured that this was necessary, regardless of what anyone else thinks. But other than that, I think that for me personally, the worst part wasn't just being judged, but also looking in the mirror. When you first start this process, you can try and ease yourself into looking in the mirror as much as you can. You can wear a mask, you can do all these different things to try and get away from the reality. And the reality is, when you look in the mirror, whether you're swishing your saltwater rinse or you're taking your denture out to wash off the biofilm, or, I mean, numerous reasons, you're going to see it. And it's going to be hard because you don't know who that person in the mirror is anymore. And again, I'm only speaking from personal experience. I was used to seeing the same person I had seen for the past 7 years. Up to that point, my face had changed a lot. But for the past 6 or 7 years, I was used to looking in the mirror at, falling apart or not, those were still my teeth. When I spoke and I didn't have a mirror or a camera to show me what I look like, I could still kind of have an idea of what do I look like. Now I don't really know what people are getting anymore, and that's difficult. And to see yourself without any teeth, without any dentures, is difficult. You almost go through like a grieving process. You have to put to rest, and I'm sorry it's a horrible pun or analogy, but you have to put to rest the past. Like I said, you're putting it to rest for a reason. You set these things into the past for a reason. You set up a new future for yourself for a reason. The person you're seeing in the mirror now is who you are now. Own those dentures, own those partials, own those veneers, whatever it is that you've opted for, own it and make it you. I don't miss my situation. And remembering that is going to be key. You will not miss your situation. This is hard. This is heavy. It sucks sometimes. It's not sunshine and rainbows. You're getting teeth pulled, literally. So be patient. And then another thing too is the whole, why me? For me and my personal situation, why was I born without enamel? Why me and not anyone else in my classrooms that I went to school with? Why not someone else? Why not someone else? I'm not the most religious person, and I'm never going to claim to be. I believe in something. I don't go to church, but the point is that why not you? You are strong enough and have been strong enough to have dealt with what you've dealt with so far. You can bet you can do this. That's why you. Now, something else that I think about the person that you love. A person you love. Alive, not alive, whatever. For me, I think about my son. If this had to happen to anyone, I am thankful it was me and not my son. If it had happened to my son, I don't know what I would do. So that's why me. But again, you're going through a grieving process. You're letting go of what you once knew to try and do your best to embrace what you've now chosen to do. And it's a good decision. But that is the next question. What have I done? And this question is going to come up in your head in different ways. It's going to be a, oh my God, what have I done? I have no teeth. I am Toothless the Dragon. What the heck? What have I done? But then it's also going to be sheer shock. Sheer shock. When I see myself without teeth, or I take out my dentures and I hear my voice again, it's still shocking. And it's going to be. If this process didn't include shock and awe, everyone would have done it. And everyone would have done it. Hollywood, hello. So, some things that I wrote down to help accept this new norm for you, and what's helped me is set yourself up for a reality check. If you haven't done this process already, but you're thinking about it, consider doing a private video like this. Take pictures. I have pictures of everything falling apart, and I intentionally removed everything that I had tried fixing myself to make it look as awful as I could, because I need that reality check, and I know I will. And it's very likely that someone else, maybe not you, but the next person, is going to need this reality check as well. Don't you forget why you sat in that chair and why this became a thought in your head. Do not let yourself forget. Hold yourself accountable and call yourself out, because no one else is going to do it better than you. That's the truth. I had to go back and look at pictures and tell myself, this is why I did it. Because that was not worth it. That was not cute. That was not, no. That is unacceptable. And then look at pictures. If you have already done it, this is going to be better for you, but look at pictures from way back then to now and compare them. How much bigger do you smile now? How much more confident are you when you talk? I know I'm more confident when I talk now. Oh, I'm sorry. And then reality checking yourself too. If you've already done this and you didn't get a chance to make a video of the beforehand, try and grab old pictures if you can and write down a list of the differences between then and what made you sit in that dentist chair and say, I need dentures, or I need to talk about this, and what life is like now for you. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you guys out. And then I think the next biggest thing too is going to be look to your future. Right now I'm still in pain. I'm still swollen because I had to go back in for a couple other issues, having that tooth removed, having bone filed. There was something, I think he called it a buckle in my gums that it looks like he fixed. I'm not going to show you, but I'm looking to the future. And in my future, I see a lot of pictures of me smiling with my son. I see home videos of me laughing and talking with my son. I see myself being better at my job because I'm no longer holding back, laughing and talking, or feeling embarrassed and ashamed or self-conscious. What if the person notices? I see myself actually focusing on other things besides my teeth. I can look at other things now. I can become aware of other things now. I can work on the next thing that needs to be worked on. I've leveled up in life. This is it. Look to your future. Look at the potential. Look at the possibilities that you've just opened yourself up for. And they wouldn't have been possible unless you did this. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at notes because I know I tend to ramble a lot. And then something else that was put in front of me by a coworker actually was, what is your self-worth? I googled self-worth. What does that mean? It means self-esteem. Excuse my S's. I'm still not wearing my bottoms because now I'm waiting for this to heal. So something that I meditated on and thought about, not formally meditating, I just think, but is what does measure my value? What makes me a worthy human? And I tend to think about things like my job, my numerical values, how much money do I make? How much stuff did I buy my son? How many times did my son laugh and smile today because of me? A lot of external factors. And it didn't feel right when I answered the question with those things, because that doesn't, if I looked at you, if I look at you, I'm not measuring your value or your worth based on those things. So why would I do that to myself? If I look at you and I want to know your worth and your value as a human in my eyes, and no, I'm not one to judge, but if I were to have any say, I would say it's the weight of your heart. It's the weight of your brain. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally. What's your capacity for compassion or empathy, to care, your charity, your ability to, I don't know, the way that when your best friend comes over, you know exactly how to make their coffee and you do it just to see them smile. It's the way that when your significant other is having a bad day, you took that initiative to do something special that you and only you know they would love. Just because you know you can. And because you know you can. I repeated myself. But those kinds of things, that's what I think. Now, if you're like me, I don't want to credit myself and sound arrogant or big-headed. So here's another start, because I challenge you to find worth in yourself outside of things like your teeth. And I know that there's some comedy out there, like if celebrities didn't have their teeth, what would they look like? And it's a laugh for some people, and that's fine. But for you yourself, what would your value and worth be? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, by the way. So what I ended up concluding personally is grounding myself to the facts. The facts are, I put up good numbers at work. But why? How would I do that? I would have to be a caring person. I would have to be empathetic. I would have to be good at listening to people. Do you see where I'm going? Does this make sense? I am an amazing housekeeper. Okay? That's a fact. I not only get compliments, but I know I am, because my laundry's done, my dishes are done, my beds are made, my son always has clean clothes, and they're folded and ready, and dinner's always ready, and those kinds of things to me equate a good housekeeper. But anyway, what does that mean though? It means I'm organized. It means that I care enough about other people, my son, that I want him to have an environment to thrive in. So things like that would lead me to believe I'm a good mother. And those are the things that eventually are baby stepped into my worth, my value. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. If there's a way you would change what I just said, let me know. But that's kind of where my thoughts go. So this video's purpose is, if you're feeling discouraged so far in your denture journey, try to look to the light. Try to look to the potential and the possibilities. Same for if you're just now learning about dentures and, getting all your information together and getting your ducks in a row. I did the same thing. Think about the potential and possibilities. If you had amazing, beautiful, white, straight teeth what would you be doing? How would you feel? What would you be able to do differently that you don't do or have now? Think about that. And if there's things going on like your denture's not fitting and things like that, what are the steps and necessary steps you can take or should be taking to take care of that? Things like your relines, your soft relines, your hard relines, getting an adjustment, finding a new adhesive paste, or try adhesive powder. Try something like the thermoplastic cushion grip or denture fit or whatever. There are ways around these things. And you know it as a denture wearer because you found one way to get out of the bad situation you were in previously, and now here you are, you're wearing dentures. So let's make the most of that. If I talk too much more, I'm beating a dead horse. I do apologize again. Like I said, I do have some swelling going on, so I look a little different, but I hope this video is helpful. Try to be as mentally and emotionally prepared as you can before the procedure. The extraction is the easy part, the physical extracting of the teeth. At least for me, again, it was personally because I was fully sedated. The harder part was the healing and mentally and emotionally accepting the new situation. Granted, I've now come around that final corner, I feel. If you guys want to exit the video, by the way, that was basically it. The rest is just going to be bonus material for anyone who wants to hang out and stick around. Please leave a like if you like the video. Leave a comment on any feedback, anything different that you would have said or advised, your own personal input or preferences or things like that, and anything that I could be doing better right now so far. Thank you so much for watching so far. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the bonus material. Alright, so to update you on where I'm at now, myself, mentally and emotionally, it's a struggle. It is still a struggle. The things that I had said earlier in the video, I have to repeat those things to myself pretty often. And that's okay. It's not like I had all my teeth pulled out of my head or anything. So, just trying to be patient with myself and understand that my situation is very unique from the next person, as is the next person, and the next person, and the next person. But I am in a much better place. I cried a lot in the beginning. I was very overwhelmed, I feel, and it's kind of mourning. I think that is the best way to put it, is I was grieving over the fact that what's done is done, and now I need to start looking to the future, and I need to reassess how I look at myself. And a lot of it is in a good way. My teeth, for example, are all the same color. They're all in the same pattern of shape. They're not falling out, like, and that's a lot of what I was dealing with before. So there's that. As far as getting that final tooth pulled, I now have 4 places in my bottom jaw with stitches in it. I went through something, I can't remember the name of it. It was a something plasty. If you know the name of it, please leave it in the comments below. But I learned after the fact that it's where they cut open your gums. They pull the skin over. They go into the bone, they file it and shave it down and reshape it. They pull the gum tissue back over and then sew it shut. I'm sorry if no one wanted to hear that, but but that's it. So Thank you again so much for watching my video. I am excited to see you guys soon. I believe my next video is going to be a couple of updates as far as the denture journey in the first few days or so. I'm still trying to figure out how far I'm going to go into that. I'll include screenshots from my original denture diaries, ugly crying face and all. And I'm going to go ahead and try and make that same video tonight because I did end up losing some time from my second procedure. So leave a like on your way out for the video. Leave a comment, any suggestions, feedback, answer any of the questions that I had asked during the video. Let me know where you're at and what got you through your denture journey, or what did you struggle with the most? Maybe there's someone new that will end up coming to this channel and we can help them out as well. Otherwise, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can keep up with my new content. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.